this is Alan Mooring again with AutoSystemTrader.com. We're going to go and look at system optimization again, bringing up the same system that I just started working on. I'm going to go back and show you how I'm going to select what system to optimize from these range of variables. First, I go to all the average trade, the highest average trade. You can click on these to prioritize these based on highest to lowest or lowest to highest. And I've gone from highest to lowest. So I'm going to just double click on this to select this one for the highest average trade and let that data load. I'll be back in just a second. Oh, maybe it's working on it now. I'll be back. Okay, so now I have the data loaded, and I'm going to show you why I selected the highest average trade. If you go over here, you'll see that the max drawdown is fairly low. The profit factor is, I guess, fairly high considering this run. And I also want to look at the net profit, and it's about $58,000. Not quite good enough based on what I generally like to see, but the equity curve is, at least it's heading in the right direction. When I run these optimizations, I'll also leave 6 months of untested data. You'll see I'm only optimizing up to 4/19 of 2010, and I'll show you how I set that up. You go into Format Symbol, and then you'll notice here your last date. I always go 8 years back. That's about as far as you can go. The last date I'll enter as 4/18/2010. You can change that to today's date, but then you don't know how the system will hold up walking forward. So I always leave about 6 months of untested data there, even with the genetic optimization. Now you'll see that when I set up this optimization, I'll go to settings. I only use the ADX time exit, which is a sub-strategy exit that we've provided on our download site in our sub-strategies package. There's the HLC VB entry and a stop loss, which I just set at $500. Now this stop loss is right from the TradeStation's sub-strategy list. You'll see it says 50,000, but since we're trading the yen, you have to add 2 extra zeros, so it's $500 in US dollars for the euro yen currency pair on the 20 minutes. I want to speak a little bit about genetic optimization and how that differs from the exhaustive method. With the exhaustive method, if you're testing 30,000 different types of variables for the inputs that you've created, it'll run through each one of those, which takes an extensive amount of time. And typically, before the genetic optimization was possible, rather than run through all of those, people would just try to maybe optimize a couple variables at a time and create their strategy, or at least that's what I did for optimization. But now with genetic optimization, you can optimize all of these different variables, and the genetic optimization process is just like in real life in that it'll select 2 individuals with randomly selected input variables. It will mate those 2 and then look at the offspring and see or measure the fitness of that offspring. Now, the offspring with the fittest variables will be mated in a subsequent generation. Now, this may not make sense to a lot of you if you're not familiar with biology or whatever, but the reason I like this is it continually selects from the fittest of the variables when moving forward and selecting future generations. So it just makes a lot of sense to me because I am kind of a scientist to use the genetic method to find the fittest variables to use for a strategy. And I'll get back into that a little bit more when we add some more things in the next video. Once again, this is Alan Mooring with AutoSystemTrader.com.